आदित्य राजे।
Yes, sir.
हाँ जी, आप क्या सजेस्ट कर रहे थे?
Sir, basically, first of all, good evening, sir. The group which you have started is excellent. Maybe I've been, matlab, now I'm an old member of the group, so I keep following the group very rigorously. Sir, I just wanted to suggest a few things that the ones which work for me, like
Yeah.
this, basically, when you sign off, like around 5 to 7 lakhs, if you take out a chunk and join, if you put an FD. Or let's say for a NRE account or an NRO account, you put a FD and get a CC on that, then that
Mhm.
helps you a lot for your expenses when you are on land. So basically, you get the benefit of both worlds. It's a CC, you are paying interest, a very nominal amount only on the amount which you're using on a daily basis
CC
or a
means
monthly
credit
basis or
card.
whatever. No, cash
CC
credit,
means
sir.
cash
No, no,
credit.
no, cash credit. Cash credit.
He means the
Basically,
overdraft. Basically, it's called an overdraft.
overdraft. Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Cash credit or overdraft. So if you get that, so basically, if you're spending, let's say you're 3 months at home and you're spending, let's say 2 lakhs or 3 lakhs on travel, vacation, whatever you wish to do, when you go for
Mhm.
your sale, you just replenish it back. So when you're selling, that amount will not be used, assuming. So it's like a 7 lakhs FD on which any which ways you'll get a quarterly interest credit. So that's a
Right.
additional, like you are spending, but you're not spending your own money per se. So that's a
Yeah. Actually, Aditya,
one thing.
what's your rank, Aditya?
Sir, I'm currently sailing as third engineer. I'm 33 years old.
Okay. So, Aditya, actually, what you're saying is very correct. I don't have any this thing support on it or opinion against it. But the point, why I like to keep things as simple as possible here is because it is understandable to everybody. You see, everybody's what do you call the level of MQ, I would call it money quotient, is not same. And I personally myself was very apprehensive and very scared of taking a OD. And I'll give you a very good example about it. In 2003, I wanted to buy a property on the opposite side of the road that I was living in. I mean, the other end. And I had done all the arrangements for paying off, and I was running short of a little bit of money, which of course I would have arranged. Prior to that, my bank manager told me that why don't you take a OD on this? You can always pay from your when you pay it. But those days the OD had to be paid. I think Arvind Singh, you'll have to mute yourself. So basically, I was a little apprehensive. So the reason I'll tell you why. The reason is that our income is very sporadic. You really don't know when you're going to go back on ship again. So at that particular time, I had a lot of FCNRs which I had booked because I was foreseeing the rise in foreign exchange, which was correct also. Did happen. I mean, somehow I used to mark these very well and I benefited out of it. So I liquidated all my FCNRs because I did not want to take the OD. This OD probably I would have paid from my next salary. Then somehow the deal fell. I realized that I don't really want it. So I left it. I let it go. And well, you see, I lost about 1.5 lakh on the interest because you don't get any interest if you liquidate before 1 year. One of them was actually liquidated 1 or 2 months earlier only. I did have to undergo that. But even today, if I were to sail again, I would not be able to find the confidence to pay off something from my future salary. Today, I use a credit card very, very easily. 95% of my purchases are made out of credit cards. And
Sir, can I just interject one moment, sir?
yeah.
Sir, just to point out, because if it's an FD and if, for example, you're not able to pay, since the bank will only give you 75% of it, the worst that will happen is they'll say, okay, fine, break your FD, we'll take our money and you'll
Yeah.
any which ways get back your money. So you're
Right.
still spending your own money, but you're also earning interest on it. So that way it is both ways. You are in, you benefit both ways.
Okay. So this has actually this thing may have come in now only. Earlier, you could not pay it by liquidating the same thing. This may have been a change that they have made for the non-resident. There were a lot of restrictions for the non-resident Indians, which keep coming off now and then. But I guess we can discuss this on the group also. Now that you have already said, please write it down and in a small article form and post it on the this thing, and we'll
Also,
discuss it there.
just another point, sir. One
Hmm.
gentleman, I forgot the name. They just had a talk just before me, saying that they liquidated the FDs, this mutual funds, because it was in negative. My own personal
Hmm.
experience, one gentleman also referred to you around 10 to 15 days back, saying that he invested in this China growth fund or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
I was also part of that fund till until quite recently, and because of this COVID and everything, I was in minus 2 lakhs, minus 2
yeah.
lakhs because
I
I
was also,
invested.
I booked a loss of 1,70,000 in this.
I
But let
no,
me tell you
I
one
would
thing.
just like no,
Yeah.
but sir, I did not book it because I was
Uh,
notional. It was on paper only. I was minus 2 lakhs because I
uh,
invested in the US fund also, Franklin
yeah,
Templeton feeder, US
yeah.
feeder fund.
That came
And
back,
I
of
did
course.
not, I just waited. I stopped my SIPs in that, but I waited for the market to
Mhm.
come back up. That loss came from around minus 2 lakhs to 80,000. Then it came down to 30,000. And that is when I liquidated those. I shifted them to Parag Parekh and Kotak Small Cap and everything. And now
Right.
it came to plus 2 lakhs. So basically
Okay.
minus 2 to plus 2. So total 4. So the only thing is
Yes,
to wait,
that is,
time the market,
yes,
and then
yes, certainly.
don't just sell. Don't just do that. That's the worst. For
You're
sure, it's a
right. And
loss.
it was actually the time when I had suggested to people that I am investing in this. See, I never say that you do it, but I do share what I am doing. So at that time when I
Right, sir.
did this was because I thought that there was some scope in China, and the fund was definitely doing well that time. But you see, the
Right,
difference
sir. Right.
between me
Exactly.
and other people is that I am only living off from my capital gains, right? So
Right. Right.
whatever, I don't have any other income except capital gains, which I make in my mutual funds. So whatever capital gains I make, I also pay tax on that. So why it was very simple for me to actually liquidate this at a loss was because I could offset this against something else. So,
Correct.
like
Correct.
this particular year, my tax has come to as a refund of 2,400 rupees instead of me paying any tax. So, that is also called tax harvesting. And also, for your sake, if you have made any loss in any particular mutual fund, which you have to liquidate for some reason, so it does not matter. You can offset this. You can in your returns, you can file it, keep your computation safe, and and you in this particular manner you can book this loss and adjust this loss for next 8 years. This, like for next 8 years, if you will make any profit in any or capital gains, you can use this loss to compensate that. So that's equally good,
Yes. Yes, sir.
right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Something
Yes.
else?
No, sir. That will be all. Thank you. Thank you.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, yes, Uzair.
Good evening, sir. My name is Uzair actually. I'm just starting in the Merchant Navy now. I have just been
Mhm.
selected about a fortnight back.
You join
So
us.
yeah. So I'll be joining as a GME in
Okay.
Anglo Eastern. So
Right.
I just want to know how can I start with all this, because I see you have mentioned a lot of terms aware SIPs and all this. So
Yeah.
I mean,
So in the
I'm not aware of it at all.
if you are you on the group? Are you on the group?
No, I'm with
Okay.
MND only.
Okay. MND? Merchant Navy
Merchant
Depot.
Navy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, you send me a Telegram message and I will add you to the group. On the group, you will find a lot of material, including a book, Financial Planning for Seafarers. So you read that book first, you'll get familiarized with all these things. And in view of whatever we have discussed now, this is being recorded, you'll get the video for it. And then you can listen to this and you can make any of your clarifications, and you can start off your investments like I said, even before you go on board, right?
Sure, sir. I humbly request you to share the details in the chat. So I'll. Uh,
Yeah, yeah. Most of us are there. So you just send me a message, personal message to me at Rajiv Kaushik. I mean, just check my name spelling, and I will add you to this group. And from there, we'll take it. Okay? Because we have to
okay,
start from basics again, which most of the people may be aware of. I have a written question. I can take it now. I can take it later if you really have, if somebody wants to ask something else.
Good evening, sir. This is Prithvi Raj here, sir.
Yeah, Prithvi.
Yeah, I am a TME, sir. I have sailed for
Mm-hmm.
6 months. And sir, I have been investing since my college days. And sir, I have a doubt that, like I have, sir, I have been investing in my saving accounts. So I have opened the NRE and NRO account. So I should. You said that we should like I should just stop in that saving account and I should start a fresh start in the NRO account. So can't
Yes.
I like carry forward the saving accounts that one into the NRO account?
Yes, you can change your savings account to NRO account. After doing that, don't surrender your
Sir, the thing
checkbooks.
is, both banks are different. Like the saving account bank is of different bank, and
That is even better.
this is
That is, you can have as many NRO accounts, as many NRE accounts in the country as you want. So you just go to your
okay.
bank, tell them that this is my passport, this is my CTC, this is my last contract. So please convert this into NRO account. The account number will not change. They will just change it to NRO. Maybe the account number will change. Doesn't matter. Keep the checkbook
Okay.
of the earlier account and the checkbook of the new NRO account. You will have to submit one application with both cancelled checks of both to either the AMC where you have invested, or you give it to CAMS to say that I have investment in so and so AMC. Please convert my status from a resident savings to non-resident, non-repatriable. They will do that. Once they do that, stop that investment there and then. Don't have to invest in that unless you have some money coming into NRO. Whatever money you will get from SHIP should go into an RE account. Start investing from that. Maybe the same funds which you had this side, you can start with the same funds from your NRE account as a non-resident repatriable, right? Okay.
So sir, like I should have a different account for I should have like investment for NRO and NRA both, like both accounts.
See, whatever you have already done, you have become a non-resident Indian now. So as a non-resident Indian, you cannot keep a savings account. So your savings
Right, sir.
account has to be converted to your NRO account. When you have
Okay.
converted it to NRO account, your KYC for your mutual fund changes. So you have to carry out those changes in your mutual funds. All the same, there is no need to invest in those funds because they are in non-repatriable form. Means you cannot take away that money outside, right? So you can just continue with those funds like that. It does not matter. You can connect those funds with this NRO account which you open new, which you have already
Okay.
opened. You can also connect with this, but you will have to give an application. In
Okay,
a
sir.
particular folio, you can have up to 6 bank accounts connected. It doesn't matter. But the idea is now earlier you have been following that. Very good. Now, I hope you've been investing in mutual funds only, right?
Right, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, not stocks.
No, sir. I have, yeah,
Okay.
I have been investing in stocks also,
No,
but
that becomes
like
a different deal. It's better to sell that and utilize your money whichever way you want, because as a non-resident, investing in stocks is a really tedious thing, which I cannot really advise you right now. Okay.
okay. So, sir, like now also my SIPs are going on in the savings account. So should I should stop that
Stop.
now itself?
Stop that. Stop that. Yeah. Stop that. Stop that
Okay,
first.
and I should,
And
yeah,
convert
and
this account. Basically, you need to convert this existing investment folios. There may be 1, 2, 3 with different AMC. You need to convert it to a resident mode, right?
okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank
So
you.
that's all you need to do. You'll be going the right way if you do this. Okay. There is a
Okay, sir. Thank
question
you.
which has attracted my attention, which has been sent by Shaurya, the third engineer, and he's been investing in his wife's name in SBI small cap, large cap, Axis mid cap, Kotak equity, 5,000 each. Now, in the coming months, he wants to start for his child when he becomes a father. He wants to be suggested 4 more funds. Now, this is where the things go awry. It is okay to start investing in your wife's name, and I always advise that in my plan of things. The wife also should have an investment account with as you. But first, it should start for yourself, not your wife. Those days are gone when we were scared of the income tax so much that we would buy land in the name of brothers and father and wife. Now those are called benami. You should start in your name as a non-resident Indian, repatriable basis, connected from your NRE account. If you have 4 folios or 4 funds of different AMC in your name, then you can have 2 funds in your wife's name. One thing solved. You should not have major investment in the wife's name because that attracts the attention of the income tax department. That why is this man transferring his money from NRE account to a savings account of his wife and investing in her name? And that is a fact. Your money is in a tax-free channel. Why do you want to make it converted into a taxable channel? So I have already dealt with this matter in form of PIN money on the group. I have already posted that whatever are the expenses of home, transfer about double that amount to your wife's account. After spending for home, at the end of the month, whatever is remaining, carry it forward as her investment in her name. But your investment in your name as a non-resident Indian, non-repatriable basis is the main core format of the portfolio. Initially, this investment should be in the ratio of 3:1. That means if 3 lakhs are invested for you, 1 lakh should be invested for the wife. Later on, this gap, because all the expenses will start coming out from your own earning, your own NRE account. So in the final time, when you will retire, this ratio will close down to 3:2 automatically. That should be the correct. And you'll be able to show this at that time after 15 years, 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, her income as her income, your income as your income. We do not know what the income tax laws will be after even 10 months. So let us start with a premise which is weather-proof, which is rule-proof, which is law-proof. So it is very important that we start this in a correct format. So please first start investing in your name. You have already invested in 5-6 funds in your wife's name. Select only 2 to 3 funds from here. And the amount is okay. It's about 35,000 each. That's not much. But corresponding to that, you should have about 1 lakh investment in your name from your NRE account. Now coming to the name of your child. There is no need to invest in your child's name at all. Maximum that you can do is that if you have a girl child, then please start Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana, SSY, in her name, under guidance the mother. In this, you can invest up to 1.5 lakh every year, but do it under your wife's account. So this can happen. If you have a son, then you need not invest anything. You can just make your children as the nominee. In your account, you can make the children as a nominee with wife as the guardian. And in the wife's account, you can make the child as a nominee under guardianship of yourself. Correct. Finally, in any case, the money is going to the children. So there is this concept of investing in children's name is very weird. It doesn't really ring a bell. पुराने जमाने की बातें थी, LIC ने अरबपति हो गई है लोगों को बच्चों के नाम से पॉलिसी बेच कर. अरे यार, LIC is an insurance company. You want to insure a child? You're crazy. Is child an earning member? Is somebody dependent upon them? Why? But they do it. Anyway, that's not our outlook. Anybody else? We'll go to the next question.
Thanks, sir. Thanks for the clarification.
Sure. Yeah.
Can I open इसको मैं बोलूं?
हाँ बोलो.
Hello.
Yeah. हाँ जी बोलिए.
Anji sir, in regard like we cannot open a PPF account for us as we have an NRI, right? So can we open in on behalf of our kid as a guardian, like वो अगर minor?
No, you cannot. You cannot. Your wife can. If you're
so
married.
wife is already having her PPF account.
Doesn't matter. You can open for a child, but the total collected amount to be invested should not exceed 1.5 lakh. You cannot be the guardian of a child's PPF account.
Okay, because SBI has done that. They have opened it for my son, and because I had a PPF account which they closed down because of the new rules came in and all, and 15 years were over, so they closed it down and all. And so then after that,
when did you open that?
I think 1 or 2 years back. 1 or 2 years back, I opened.
So now you opened it. I cannot comment on that. But my suggestion is, if you are contributing 1.5 lakh to that account, please do not claim for any sort of tax rebate in your returns.
Yes, I will not because I think because it's going to be on the kid's name.
Because you see now, next time the income tax department is free to actually question you. So far, they were not questioning. Income tax department was only interested in the tax. But right now, because everything is getting integrated, it is possible at the end of 14 years, they'll say that you were not supposed to introduce this in your son's name. How did you open it? You cannot quote that SBI opened it for me. There is no proof to say that you did not tell SBI that you are a resident, or you failed to tell them that you are a non-resident. Kiska naam loge? We are supposed to be following the law. Bank, if it has missed one time, it is exonerated. The bank staff will not be held responsible.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Because my wife has
it is
her
better.
own.
How much have you invested already? You invested 1.5 lakh, 2 lakhs of that?
It has gone around, I think 3 lakhs, 2 to 3 lakhs is
Okay,
already
two times you have already spent. My suggestion is do not contribute more than 5,000 rupees a year to that account, so that if something happens against, you can say that I was only investing the minimum amount. Minimum amount is actually 1,000 rupees only, but at least you will be able to say that. PPF is a very good account if it can be done in the legal way. It's a good thing to have, but if you cannot do it, it doesn't matter. Why would you go for 7% when you can get 15%?
Okay.
Invest in another fund for yourself and make the nominee as your son or your daughter. At the end of the day, like I said, the money, your child will only get the money when it is required. Utilize your money in the best possible avenues. If I was sailing again today and there was somebody to tell me, as a fifth engineer, if I start today and there was somebody to tell me what I am telling you nowadays, I would have been investing 100% of my salary in equity mutual funds, 100% minus my expenses. Because I was exactly doing the same thing in 2008 when the market fell. You see, it took me also time to understand this system. I knew about mutual funds before they came to India. But to believe them in a country where there were scams happening day in and day out, when in 2000, a company like UTI fell down, a fund like US 64 fell down, it took me a lot of understanding, a lot of guts to actually build up a trust in this system. And that trust came from 2000 to 2008. 2000, there was a meltdown. 2008, there was a meltdown. But by that time, I had gained faith. And apart from the expenses, home expenses, by the 5th of the month, there was no money remaining in my NRO account. My bank managers have never liked me because I never gave them any business. I used to invest entire money, and it was because of that money which was invested in those particular 2-3 years, because of which actually when the time came, the corpus grew. Yeah, it took 2 years, 3 years, but when it grew, it has grown. All right.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else?
I will have a word with you on one-to-one.
Sure. Anytime.
We have spoken. Me and my wife, we have spoken to you because it's. I think most of the guys are quite young. They're just.
Yeah.
And
That's
close to. Yes.
I would rather have actually they asking questions. Yeah. All you youngsters, please ask your questions. This was specifically done for you, so please don't hesitate. You can send me a question written, and I will not call out your name. You can send me a direct message, and I'll take that question if you want. Any other process you want to discuss? We are already about 1 hour into our program. So if anything else you wish to say or ask, it's up to you. Yeah, anybody? Come on, there are 32 of us. Yeah, Ram.
Sir, actually, like last 1 year, I was investing in stocks before. But actually, I was not able to maintain when I was in on board. Actually, I can't check the when market is down. So actually, now I'm planning for changing to mutual funds also. When like whatever balance money I have, I'm planning to put in mutual fund when I'm going on board and that. But now when we change to, as you said, like NRO, NRA, actually I'm doing in my savings demat account only. So if I change one, yes sir.
You are investing in shares.
Yes, sir. Stocks.
Yeah. So I think we'll take this question one-to-one because see, I have mentioned so many times in the welcome messages that we don't deal with or advise with stocks because that is a different field altogether. But yes, if you are a non-resident Indian, like I have been saying for all this time, please start and continue with mutual funds. If you want a discussion on stocks and mutual funds connected, I can have it with you right now, if you wish, if other people want. Somebody has asked me the name of the book. Somebody has asked me about the name of the book, but this book I will share again on the WhatsApp, on the Telegram group. The name of the book is Financial Planning for Seafarers. You will find it in the file section of the Telegram group if you are a member of that. Otherwise, you send me a Telegram message and I will add you to the group. You will be able to find a lot of other resources also there. And you are free to ask questions on the group, in private, direct to me anytime. So this meeting is not the last resort where you need to ask a question. I would like to you to ask me for some challenge that you are facing, because not only about like where you want to invest and which stock and which fund, and somebody's asking about a term insurance. This we can answer on the group, but something different, some observation. Do you agree with what I am saying? I think you should all unmute yourself. But do you agree with what I am saying, that being on a 27 at the higher level that now people are joining, do you think that this is something which is worrisome, which actually requires a relook at things? Do you agree with that?
So if I may, what earlier the waiting period between ships was not that much. Now for these kids, it's going to go back because the companies are just flooding the market with engineers and officers. So they need to take this into account too. Like you said, our income is sporadic. It's going to get worse. I have not seen a pay rise since last 10 years or so. It's going to get worse. I have not seen a salary increase in any company for around 10 years.
Yes. But now I heard the salaries have increased, but salary increase is one part. Part is like when the officer actually has lost about 5 years in the course, because firstly, the clearing the exams itself is a little difficult thing. Earlier in our time, if we didn't clear the exams in 2 months, then something was wrong. Now, with all these classes and exams split into 5 exams and 5 orals, it's a bit difficult. So the point of So the point is that what I have tried to reinforce in this particular meeting is that you do not have time to waste. If all of you, there are about 30 of us apart from me, if you have not started your investment, please start them yesterday, not tomorrow. If you do not have the money, talk to your parents. I mean, they have supported you for all this time. There is something you want to tell them, that this I want to start. I just want to start one fund with 5,000 rupees. Do that paperwork, because I know that particular paperwork is taking almost 1 to 2 years for some people. Kal karenge, parson karenge, agli baar aake karenge. And for some weird reason, everybody remembers to do all these things when they go on board. Whenever they go on board, then they remember all these things. So the last place you should be doing is starting anything when you are on board. Please remember to complete everything, all your matters, finish them off by 1 week before you join the ship. Don't try to take a policy. Don't try to do anything related with money matters or anything with investment matters till the last moment. Finish off everything 7 to 10 days before, and relax peacefully. Speak with your near and dear ones, the family members. They are also, I mean, that's what is required. So please, I think if you like, you can unmute yourself. The meeting is going to end in another 10 minutes. So you can unmute yourself. You can also start your videos if you like. And we can, if you don't have any more questions, we can. Okay, somebody wants my number, so you want to message. All right, I'm writing my number. That's one number. That's another number. And I have a blog also. That's my blogs. If you like, I also have a Facebook page with the same name, FinWorld at Sea, if you would like to join. And So you can get a lot of the articles, previous articles of 10 to 12 years, which I write on this blog. So because it's easy for me to concentrate everything in one place and also review my earlier ideas, I try to come out with something which suits everybody in your interests. That is what is at the back of my mind every time, every day, because I know things are difficult for us on board. I have faced them. You are facing more than what I did. So I would like to be part of the journey to make it easier for you. And if you have any more ideas about this, I will tell you that, yes, we can do this or we cannot, like when he suggested about the CC. So you can try it out if you like. There's no harm, because there is a similar product called SBI Max Gain, which you can take if you take a loan from the bank. Yeah, that is something else that I would like to suggest to you, that a house is required. You don't have to, but I have shared the number to everybody, I think. Prithvi, you can please share it to others also. Okay, I'll share it with everybody. Let's not waste time now. So the main thing is that, yes, just like a car, house is also required. And one must buy the house, the best house that is, as per your requirements, in a place of your requirement. But there is a time for it. As a third officer or second officer, if you will try to buy a house, you will have to make certain compromises. You should always take a loan, a home loan. That home loan you will always get as a multiple of your salary. So certainly when you become a senior, you'll be able to get a higher loan. And this loan, you should try to take from a PSU bank, because when they do the due diligence in sanctioning a loan, they find out all the antecedents about the property. And also, there are no hidden clauses in their agreements, loan agreements, which I have found in both ICICI and HDFC and the private banks also. There is something called the annuity schedule or something, where they break up your principal and interest and show you. So you see, the interest can be on the principal existing at the beginning of the month, every month, or it can be the beginning of every 3 months, which means you will pay interest for 3 months, but your principal will again be recalculated after 4th month, which means you are paying interest, more interest for those remaining 2 months. This I'll discuss with you later on, if you like to have. So I'll discuss that what loan you should take, but you should go in for a loan. There is nothing wrong in going for a loan. It's perfectly legal and you can benefit out of that, but it takes time. So try to do it when you become a chief officer, when you have a better paying capacity. And apart from this, you should not take any other loan, any car loan. It's a loan against a depreciating asset. Your loan value is going up and your asset value is reducing, as against a home. So all these things, small things in this particular thing, that why I brought this up is because SBI Max Gain has a similar type of account like what he mentioned as a CC. It's whatever money you keep in their account, you don't pay interest on that. And so your money keeps moving. But then you have to balance it out. Why am I saying that take a home loan is because so that by then you are able to invest that much amount. Suppose you have a EMI of 2 lakhs. Now, paying an EMI of 2 lakhs there should be good. Instead of paying 1 crore out of your corpus as a cost of the home. Because if you will pay this in 15 years, the value of that EMI will keep reducing. But all the same, that money which you have saved from paying all together, that 98 lakhs, 1 crore minus 2 lakhs, that you can invest. And that will give you a return of 12% plus if you will invest properly. So in a 15-year period, if you just leave that 1 crore remaining for 15 years, that will grow to a much larger amount than what you would be paying the bank. Okay?
So if I may interrupt here.
Yeah, हाँ जी बताएं.
Taking the loan helped me in another way also. Yeah. Once I cleared my loan, I knew कि इतना minimum तो मैं save कर ही सकता हूँ. बिल्कुल. जब मैं अपना EMI पे करा. हाँ. So that's how I started. That's how I started. That time there was no Facebook or anything to guide me. So I just went around that way. कि अगर मैं 35,000 का EMI दे रहा था, तो अब लोन क्लियर हो गया, अब 35,000 सेव होना चाहिए. That's how I came up to this.
This particular house where we are staying, this is in a colony which actually I formed the first RWA of Dehradun. And when I booked this house in 2004, I booked 5 more houses, not for myself, but all the people of Merchant Navy, friends which I had here. And I used to bring most of them here. And somehow, for some weird reason, none of the deck officers wanted to buy here, but all the engineers from DMT, I had no batchmate in Dehradun, but all the other batchmates, the 1 year junior, they bought the houses. One across the house belongs to another superintendent who was in Hong Kong, now he's in Dubai. And the other 4 were also purchased by them, and they still have those houses here. And because we were buying 6 houses, we could bargain the rate of interest, which was 7.25% fixed rate in 2004, when actually the fixed rate was about 8, but we bargained it down 0.75% or 75 basis points. I still moved into the house, so my house was not given on rent, but those people still have the houses on rent. The EMI is far less than the rent which they were getting, so their houses were absolutely free. So this is the way you actually can juggle. You can juggle your finances to get better returns, depending upon the time. 2004, 2023 is a lot of time difference, but next year it will be 20 years. But I was always very sure that I have to be smarter than these people who are sitting in the banks. I always knew that. And I always bargained from a position of strength. I never felt that they knew more than me. If they knew more than me, I made sure that they admitted that they did not know as much. And they will have to toe the line that we want to, because we are the customers. So be confident when you do something. Try to do everything in a joint way. Today we call it networking. Those days we used to call it, simply getting together and doing things in a joint way. This is probably one of the best colonies as it has turned out to be, but we worked hard for it. And that is the main thing. You start behaving as a joint entity, because alone a person cannot really do much. But if you get together, you can move the bank, you can move the SEBI, you can move RBI also. And we have done that a lot of times to get the justice for the people against frauds by different brokers and all that. We have done that. So if anything is not there, this particular meeting is coming now to an end. And if anything you have, you can always put it on the group, on the WhatsApp group. I'm sorry, the Telegram group. I don't really operate on WhatsApp. You can send me a direct question. My mobile number is also on the Telegram group. So anybody who is not a member of the Telegram group can please send me at Rajiv Kaushik. You can send me a message. I'll add you to that. And from there, we can take on. This was a very important thing which I wanted to drive home to the junior officers at this particular moment. Please do things at the right way. Please do things in the correct way in the starting. India is changing. It is changing for the people who do things in the right way. Those days of past are gone when you could think that you are below the radar. There is nobody under the radar today. Do not take out excess cash from your bank account. Do not deposit excess cash in your bank account. Excess means not more than 9,99,999. As soon as it becomes 10 lakhs, questions will be asked. Nobody is unknown today in the country. Whether you have filed a return or not,